Hello everybody, and welcome back to the third episode of Purely Amsterdam. My name is Julia, and I'll be yet again your host for today. And today we have somebody quite special as our guest. Are you just as curious to see who it's gonna be? Hop along and let's celebrate. There you go. Chris, welcome. Welcome to our boat, Sanhagens. Great to have you. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm good. And thanks for having me. It's such a lovely boat.
I know, in the most amazing weather, right?
Yeah,
the rainy Amsterdam. I want to start off by kind of asking about you.
Okay.
Where are you from, how you end up here, and how you end up at the Amsterdam Light Festival Foundation as well.
Right, yeah.
Just to get a little background. So yeah, tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
Yeah, I'm originally from Australia.
Far from home. You are.
Yeah, but I've lived in the Netherlands for 10 years now. Originally I came to study art history.
Okay.
So naturally ending up in an art festival.
I can imagine.
It was a struggle to find it, but you can imagine studying art is not the...
Not the easiest. I know exactly what you mean without saying what you mean.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it was a nice course I did here in Amsterdam, and I fell in love with the city. Yeah, for me, it's I always think it's like the biggest village in the world.
Yeah.
I lived in London for a little bit, huge city, lots of people, very busy all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But Amsterdam is so exciting. It has almost the same amount of events or things to do, but it's such a tiny little city.
It is a large village, as people would like to say. Yeah. So you lived here now for 10 years, and you decided to stay.
Yeah.
You fell in love with the city, you decided to stay.
Yeah, the lifestyle, everything's super accessible. And I have a background, actually, I studied theatre lighting originally, before I did art history. Mm-hmm. So there's always something about Amsterdam. An artist actually mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, which I find just so accurate of what Amsterdam is. He said that the city's really theatrical. And that comes down to, I think, everyone has their curtains open, so there's always something happening inside.
There's always something to see.
Yeah, there's always something to see. All the buildings have their own characters or so. It's sort of this, this combination of different architecture. So it has its own character, and super interesting, super dynamic. And it's beautiful in all the seasons, in summer, in autumn, in winter.
I can imagine, well, now even in this autumn weather. Yeah. And it's also the perfect display for a festival like the Amsterdam Light Festival, right?
That's right, yeah.
Because what does the foundation do? What is the Amsterdam Light Festival?
Yeah, so every year we put together a festival of light artworks throughout the city. It's sort of, I always think a light festival is sort of a modern interpretation of dancing around a campfire or something like that. You know? It's something that's been a part of human history for a long time, but it's had many different forms. You think about like pagan traditions of like bonfire night or something like that. Now in the 21st century we have these light festivals, and really it's about, I think in the wintertime, it's hard to come out of your house and get together with people in the city and explore the city. It's much easier to do in the summer, but in the winter there's that sort of resistance because of the weather, because of the cold. But light has that unique quality of making that darkness really beautiful. So the Light Festival is really about that, about bringing people into the city so that you can explore the city in a different way. Along the way you see all these inspiring stories from artists, but then you stop by a bar and grab a drink, a chocomel.
Unless you're on a boat.
Unless you're on a boat where it's all included, all covered.
Included.
Which is,
Yeah, this boat is used a lot for the Amsterdam Light Festival route. We've been joining you as Pure Boats Amsterdam for quite some years now already.
Yeah.
And I think having these glass windows provides a perfect display of seeing the artworks, even if it rains, if it's dark.
No, exactly.
Because I always say to the guests, but I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, that the Light Festival is almost meant to be seen from the water.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
I always forget. We cycle around the city so much, living here, you walk around, but it's really such a different experience seeing it by boat. And I always forget. So every time I'm on a boat, I always get shocked about how just how different the city looks from that perspective. It's a completely different soundscape. It's much quieter.
Yeah.
It's less. You have less of the sort of people walking around on the street, but also you get this super unique perspective of all the architecture. And I love it in the winter because you go through all these bridges with all these beautiful lights.
Yeah, with the lights. Yeah, the city is lit up. I think it's really beautiful that you have a festival where you bring lights in the darkest months of the year.
Yeah, and of course it's warm.
It's warm, yeah.
Out of the rain.
It is. But it's great to have it. I'm very excited for this year because this is edition 14 as I remember. And I know that the theme is going to be legacy.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit more about it? What does it include? How did you come to that theme?
Yeah,
I'm curious.
Yeah, legacy is quite an interesting topic. What comes to mind when you first think of legacy? I'm always curious.
Legacy, I think of it as something that you leave behind.
Right, yeah.
As a lesson to other people, a way of inspiration, I would say, for me.
Yeah, and that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
I think when we started looking at legacy, it has this sort of grandiose feeling about it. That you think about people from the past that have left some contribution. Yeah. You think about famous scientists, famous architects.
That was my idea, of legacy.
But actually, if you think of it on a personal level, there's always something that we individually leave behind. And I think, going through researching the theme and selecting artists and arriving at the selection that we have, it was really inspiring to see how each individual artist interpreted that term, legacy. And in Amsterdam, we have already a legacy of architecture, of canals, of the past, the golden age, and all of these things, famous artists. But actually, it's more interesting, we think, to look at legacy in terms of what we're doing now, what us right now can do to leave a legacy for future generations.
Is it the idea that you, as the foundation of Light Festival, you come up with a theme and then the artists adapt their artworks to that? Or is it a mutual discussion with them prior to the festival? How does that work? How do you choose your theme?
Yeah, for this festival, we came up with a theme, and it's actually part of 4 years of themes. This year is anniversary, 750th anniversary of Amsterdam.
It is.
Yeah, and that's going to end in October. So after a year of looking back on the past, the last 750 years, we thought, how are we going to look ahead to the future?
To the future.
And so instead of thinking of legacy as what's happened in the past, we want to think of what our legacy will be and what's our sort of personal contribution to that.
Yeah.
So instead of the big monuments and the skyscrapers that we will build, it can also be about the little things that we do within a family, the things that get passed down, and how important they are for us as a community.
Wonderful. And how many artworks does the festival exist of this year?
This year there are 20 artworks.
20.
Yeah.
And we're cruising the route right now as well.
Yes.
So here in the back you have Central Station. There will be some artworks there too.
Yeah, there'll be one in front of the St. Nicholas Church.
Okay.
It's a massive sun.
A massive sun.
Yeah, so when you think about legacy for the future, the best way is to think about a bright new day.
Yeah.
Right? So this sun is made up of 800 individual light bulbs. It's nearly 8 meters in diameter. So
wow, it's huge.
Yeah, and it has this really nice dynamic light programming, so it sort of looks a little bit like the activity on the sun, the solar winds and that sort of stuff, but it's super mesmerizing. You can stand in front of it for hours.
I love that you give all these sneak peeks already. I think people are very excited to hear about it because, of course, because you are a curator at the Light Festival. What does that job entail and what do you do on a daily basis?
Yeah, so I'm one of the 2 curators. So we look together from the very beginning of the festival. We have an open call, and that means that anyone, artist or not, can submit a proposal. So if you have an idea for a light artwork, you're welcome to send one yourself.
Oh, really? Cool. It's open for everybody around the globe.
That's right, yeah.
Nice.
And so that happens about, I think about 18 to 20 months before the actual festival starts. Wow. So it's a really long, sort of development phase.
1.5, almost 2 years then.
Exactly. Yeah. We get around 700 proposals each year. Wow. So that's a big part of my job is
Yeah.
reading through all of them and deciding what's going to fit in Amsterdam and what stories are really important to talk about right now. And then we go through a process of bringing in some experts. So for Legacy, we had a jury meeting.
Okay.
So we invite experts in different fields. So an expert lighting designer, Ulrike Brandli from Germany. We have Paco Bulik from the City Hall of Amsterdam.
Okay.
He does urban planning. So he's an expert on public space to
Yeah.
make sure, we keep that in mind when we're selecting.
Very important as well.
Yeah.
If you take up public space with the artwork.
Exactly. And then some theme experts, so people that have to do with new technology like quantum computers was part of the jury. We had Wendelin Flores from World Museum, so to have that dimension of the past and what our relationship in Amsterdam, which has this history, which is sometimes not so nice to talk about. And what the impact of that would be. We had also someone from UNESCO, so about heritage in the broader sense.
Cool. So you have influencers from all fields to curate this beautiful festival each year.
Yeah.
Because you know where everything is going to be. Do you have a favorite spot coming up? Because I remember that we cruised this route here along the Science Museum and the Maritime Museum also last year.
Yeah.
Do you have some artworks on display here this year? And can you tell me already something about it, perhaps?
Yeah, I can tell you something about it. Last year we had a great success with a projection on the NEMO Science Building, which is coming up here. It's this amazing building that was built by architect Renzo Piano. And he thought that Amsterdam needed a public square, that Amsterdam didn't really have one, or a piazza, as he called it. So he built one on the roof of this building. But what's really interesting about this building is this copper cladding, which has this interesting texture and this color. But because there's virtually no windows or anything, it makes it a perfect canvas to project something onto.
I can imagine. It is a canvas built especially for you, you would almost think.
Yeah, it's specifically built for us, I think. So this year we have an artist out in Montenegro.
Okay.
And his name is Philip Rocco. And he's doing an artwork on this building that's called Fracture Point. So this is a little bit of a sneak peek, but...
yeah, that's really cool. I haven't heard this before.
But basically, he's using the existing tiles of the building itself. So you see all these horizontal and vertical lines that are part of the copper cladding.
Yeah.
And he's using that grid to sort of create a geometric artwork that sort of breaks down. So his idea on Legacy is that maybe the rules and the things that we have from the past are preventing us from looking forward into the future.
Yeah.
So what happens is these lines and grids come under immense stress and then they start to break and all this new space opens up. So it's
very
really
dramatic.
Yeah, it's
too.
super dramatic.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tension in this work, but yeah, it's really I find it super interesting to really use what's existing in Amsterdam to really have this relationship with the building itself, and then to add something to that completely transforms our understanding of this building and what it could be.
Beautiful. Because how do you choose the places that the artworks are going to be at?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a mix. Sometimes locations are really a good match with an artwork and that just is really obvious. But sometimes it's a real process of trying to find where this artwork fits, because obviously Amsterdam is an amazing background.
Yeah.
And so just sailing around Amsterdam in and of itself
one big canvas as well,
exactly.
in that sense, right? Yeah.
But also there's a lot of light in Amsterdam in the winter. So finding this balance between where to put an artwork with a background so that it matches and so that it stands out, or so that it creates a dialogue with what's in the background. That's something that, we go through probably a 6, nearly to 9 month process of looking at exactly what location is the best fit. Yeah.
The artworks.
Sometimes it's super obvious in 1 week, and then sometimes it's really last minute before we have to submit our permit.
Really? I can imagine the stress. I can imagine. So the process takes up to about 2 years prior to the start, you would say?
That's right. Yeah.
So you're already working on new festivals, new editions, when already experiencing another one.
Yeah.
Let's say.
Yeah, it's a little bit shifting gear.
Yeah,
all the time. So
I can imagine.
we just had the open call for not the festival that's starting this year, but the one next year.
Okay.
So we're in the process of selecting all of those artworks now.
Yeah. And you have your theme already set also for next year.
Yeah, sort of. We actually decided next year to keep it really open.
Oh.
So we wanted to see what artists wanted to say instead of us deciding what is important. And yeah, it's been super interesting. Naturally, a theme comes out of those proposals because obviously there are things playing in the world right now and artists respond to that. So yeah, that's starting to take form what that theme will be based on what's been submitted. But yeah, it was a nice experiment for us to really just look at the artworks themselves and the artists and to let them, their voices.
Well, their creative liberty in that sense, correct? Let that one speak.
Yeah.
Just as I do with all the captains, always. I always say, you tailor your own routes to what you think is best. We provide our captains with the creative liberty. That's what I always tell the guests.
Yeah.
Because I think that's very doable. Like in Amsterdam, you can go so many routes. You can go so many canals, small canals, big canals.
Exactly,
You can tailor every route as you like, which is also with the creativity of the artworks.
Yeah.
Links there a little bit, I would say.
Yeah.
So we're passing the Maritime Museum. Now, this is my personal favorite spot of Amsterdam.
Yeah. Beautiful building.
Beautiful building, amazing boat out front.
Yeah.
And we tell this to our guests a lot as well, but I'm very curious about the artwork that's going to be right here, because I think we already have a sneak peek of that one.
Yeah, we always want to try something super adventurous with the Light Festival, and the artwork that's going to be placed in front of the Scheepvaartmuseum is that artwork this year. So it's always a big process in making an artwork of this size.
Yeah.
It costs a lot of money, and there's a lot of knowledge that has to go in to figure out how to make this artwork work.
Yeah.
When you think about it, we do 20 different artworks and everything is custom. So there's no process that we can sort of
a standard process.
Copy paste.
No.
Everything needs its own attention to detail. And we have an amazing crew, an amazing team of technical producers and engineers that help us create the works. And that's important because this work that we're presenting is a big engineering challenge.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
Because how do you, that's I'm very curious about the technological side behind, or the logistical side behind it, so to speak. How do you get the artworks in their places? Because some of them are humongous, some a little bit smaller. Do you move them by boat, by vehicle, by hand? What's the idea?
Yeah, so all different sorts of ways. We mostly transport things on the water. Amsterdam is a small city, not a lot of streets that are wide enough. And it's also, we have a lot of electric boats, so it's also a way of keeping things sustainable, traveling by boat.
You have them from the foundation itself, you have your own boats?
No, yeah, we have a lovely sponsor, which is Mokum Boats. They give us these ones that you can self-drive.
Yeah.
And that helps us through the winter, being able to get to different locations. But yeah, we have to transport, when you think about it, there's so many bridges in Amsterdam that we have to find a way to transport the artwork under those bridges and then build it up on the locations. So there's also this process that goes into how exactly do we fit the pieces together.
And detach it and then attach it again whenever you want to put it in place. Yeah, it's to me, it's one logistical challenge if I even see it from the outside.
And the artwork that's going to come here is exactly one of those big challenges because it's about 15 meters wide.
15?
Yeah.
Wow.
And about 7 or 8 meters high. It's the skeleton of a whale that's done by Australian architect Zinyi Wang.
Yeah.
So it's sort of a pavilion. That's a sort of art term for that type of artwork. But yeah, it's about this phenomenon in nature which is called the whale fall. So when a whale dies, it sinks to the bottom of the ocean really slowly, but that feeds a whole ecosystem of creatures, and that lasts decades. So that sort of end, when we think about legacy, can also be a beginning of something new.
Yeah, for new life.
Yeah, so it's quite an abstract work, but yeah, it's going to be right here in front of the Maritime Museum.
Just here.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I always think it looks like a great place for a DJ set.
Here, right here. This would be an amazing concert location. Don't give the gemeente ideas.
No, yeah.
For ADE that's coming up, Amsterdam Dance Event is coming up. Would be a great location for sure.
Yeah.
because the festival is starting end of November.
Yes.
Correct?
On the 27th, yeah.
27th of November until the 18th
Makes
of
me
January.
nervous.
Yeah.
I have to keep pushing, yeah.
And then it's about 2.5 months or so.
Yeah, it's
Or
just
is it
under
less?
2 months, I think.
Under 2 months.
Yeah. Which
Really?
is a long time when you think about it. Most
is a long
light
time.
festivals are 1 weekend. Or,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 2 weeks. So yeah, our festival is 2 months.
Wow. And where do you bring the artworks to after? Do they get demolished? Are they being exhibited somewhere else? What's the process of that?
It's different for each artwork. So what we try and do, because we're 2 months, the festival, it means that you end up having to make artworks that are nearly permanent in quality.
Yeah.
They can't just last a weekend. They have
Nope.
to last through this weather, through wind, rain, everything. So at the end of the festival, these artworks are usually made with such a high quality in terms of structures, in terms of cabling and all of that, that they really do have the potential for another life. And so a couple of years ago, that idea sort of came to fruition within the festival, and a sister company was created that is exactly for that.
Oh yeah.
So to ensure that, artworks that we make can go to another place and be exhibited in another festival. And that also really works for the artist. So we make artworks together with artists, but they don't have trucks and logistics to take care of.
You help them also moving it again to a new destination.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And some of our artworks, we have Felle and the Wolf, which are Dutch artists that live here in Amsterdam on the Singelgracht.
Yeah.
Their artworks have gone to Australia, Singapore,
Wow.
Asia, all over the world.
That's so beautiful that it also gets another destination then afterwards.
Yeah.
Afterwards. So you're also contributing to the spreading of the art throughout the world.
Yeah, that's something I'm personally really passionate about. What we do in Amsterdam, can sometimes happen in a bubble, but it's really great to sort of find that connection, the stories from outside of Amsterdam, bringing to Amsterdam and bringing stories from Amsterdam to other places in the world.
To other places as well. Because how many visitors a year, more or less, do you know, visit the Light Festival?
Yeah, I think it's around 1 million.
1 million.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a combination between boat visitors and people who walk.
Mostly boat. Is there more? Do you know if there's more boats or?
I think most people visit the festival by boat.
By boat.
Yeah.
It is the most beautiful way, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If I may say so myself. I have a feeling that this year's theme is very positive as well.
Yeah.
Compared to maybe not last year, but the year before, where it was a lot about technology, artificial intelligence. How the world sometimes can go down in here. It's kind of creating new life. I'm very happy to hear that it's a very optimistic theme.
Yeah, there's a lot of color, and also there's a lot of different backgrounds. So what I really like about the selection this year is that there's so many different backgrounds of artists. So visual arts, but also light arts, but also graphic designers and architects. So there's really a great variety of visual styles. Lots of different colors and lots of different materials and all of these sorts of things. So, it's a really dynamic route this year.
Yeah, amazing. I'm very excited to see it.
Yeah, coming up on the right, we have a really nice artwork that's made by a Norwegian light designer, Thomas Bendiksen. And it's a radiator. So what he's done is taken a radiator from inside and put that in the public space to create this sort of conversation about our use of energy and is that evenly distributed around the world. But what's really interesting is that we've managed to find a way in Amsterdam to really make that unique. So this houseboat on the right here is going to be sitting just on top of that.
On top of the houseboat?
Yeah, so it's being completely removed from inside.
Wow.
And it's sort of turning into a little campfire.
Yeah.
But in the end, it doesn't give any heat. So it's sort of a little bit ironic.
It is. It gives light, though.
Yeah, it gives light.
That's
so it's this lovely warm orange color.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's more about, there's a lot of things going on in the world. People are being displaced. And this artist wants to sort of draw attention between the inside world and the outside world, and whether that's that heat and that energy and that warmth is being evenly distributed.
Wow. What did the owner of the houseboat think of that?
Yeah.
Did you just go up the houseboat and say, hey, can we place an artwork on here?
Yeah, it's sometimes a little bit tricky putting artwork in public space because, there are residents, people that live here.
Yeah.
But we have a lovely colleague of ours, Joanna, And she's always knocking on doors to double check with the residents of the city if it's okay that we do something. So
that's nice. You do like your pre-research with people living.
Exactly, and obviously we need permission. But what's really nice is the residents in this area are big fans of the festival.
Yeah.
So yeah,
because the route was on this canal last year as well, and I think the year before too, right?
Yeah.
Is it kind of like a common? Why do you choose this canal for the routes?
Well, I think it has 2 reasons. It's super beautiful. The Hergracht is a really nice spot in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
It also has some practical reasons because it's wide enough. In most of the Hergracht, you don't have too many of the houseboats. So we also don't want to go through an area where loads of people live because...
I understand. Yeah.
The festival runs 2 months, and if it's right in front of your door, that can be a little bit disruptive.
I think so too. So already all my respect to the person of that houseboat.
Yeah.
Allowing the artwork to go on there.
Super beautiful boat.
Yeah. Gorgeous.
Yeah, I'd love to go inside.
I am very curious about a certain thing.
Okay.
You, with your very creative mind, hypothetically, if you would have no budgets, no technical implications, no possible problems, what is the artwork that you personally would like to see or create?
Wow.
And where would you place it in the city?
Yeah, it's a tough question. I think there's a couple of ideas that come to mind.
Yeah.
We have these amazing street lamps in Amsterdam, and I always would love to change each and every one of them. So
the old ones that you can also see here on the right, those street lamps.
Exactly. So that during the festival, everyone can go up and change it to a different color or to a different thing. That's not allowed.
No,
because they have a purpose, which is to light the street. But that everyone sort of takes ownership and, in this creative way can change their neighborhood.
And then it would be like a rainbow city almost,
Yeah. Or maybe in some places red and some places blue. And then it would change every day.
Yeah.
I think that would be super interesting. But I think in terms of huge, big budget, big
no limitations,
Exactly.
nothing. Yeah.
There's a really nice artwork, which I think is also really important now, but it's by Oliver Eliasson.
Okay.
He's an Icelandic artist, Danish as well. And he brought all of these pieces from a glacier into London and let them melt there.
Wow.
But think about what I said before about our festival being 2 months. I like this idea of something happening for 2 months. That
something active changing every day. Yeah.
Can you imagine it in the Oosterdok, this huge iceberg that just slowly in the wintertime is melting and turning? It would be so exciting, right?
So cool. That would be very good. That would have a lot of implications.
Yeah, exactly.
But if there were none, that would be a perfect. That's
tidal waves. Boats.
Yeah, the most important to protect our most prized possession.
Yeah, it's maybe not a light artwork, but yeah, I just think it would be super interesting.
Super interesting. I think so too. Yeah. Something that people want to pass by more often, just so they can see the change.
Exactly.
Also to draw some more attention to it.
And that tension of maybe something's going to happen.
Yeah,
maybe
who
it's
knows?
not. I have to come back tomorrow to see.
Yeah. You build up the tension for sure. Yeah. So as we're entering more of the east side of the city center, of course there will be a lot of people listening to this podcast, but also a lot of people visiting the festival.
Yeah.
What if people want to learn more? How can they reach you? Do they do that by websites? Of course, they can book a cruise with Pure Boats to see the festival.
Yeah.
But if they want to learn even more, or maybe do the walking route, how can they get in touch?
Yeah. So AmsterdamLightFestival.com is our website. We also have an Instagram where you can see lots of amazing photos of the artwork. During the festival. But we also have an app. So if you want to walk the festival, there's also an app where you can listen to an audio snippet of all of the artworks.
Okay.
So it's really nice. People get in groups and they walk around together and listen. But you can also go to the website to see, to book a cruise like this.
Yeah.
And see the festival from the water.
Amazing. The best way to see the festival, in my opinion.
And there's one thing that we're adding this year, which is a children's route.
A children's route.
So whether you take the boat or you're walking, you can download this children's route.
Yeah.
And they're it's a little bit more accessible for children, so a little bit more interesting things about the artworks that children will really like.
Yeah.
And then if you go past all the artworks by boat or by walking, you get to tick off and find a little icon
that is
next to each of the
adorable.
artworks. Yeah.
That is adorable.
Yeah.
Because the lights go on when it's dark, correct? Or
Yes.
almost dark?
Yeah, around 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
Sometimes earlier, because this team has to go around and switch them all on.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, it's a manual thing.
Yeah, some manual and some on a timer.
Oh, really? Wow. I thought they would just all pop on at the same time, but that's not even the case.
No, and they have to go around and check.
Of course.
Yeah, we have this huge team that maintains the festival as well. So yeah, things break inevitably.
Of course, of course. Because how many people do you have in the team? Would you say total, completely?
Total, I think during the festival it's over 100, maybe 150.
Wow.
Yeah.
Keeping the artworks and the festival together.
Yeah, there's crew, there's volunteers.
Yeah.
There's technicians. Yeah, a whole bunch of people.
Maintenance.
Yeah, exactly. It grows, particularly in November when we're building the artworks.
Yeah.
There's a huge team of people that makes this possible.
Oh, that's amazing to hear. Teamwork makes the dream work, as I always like to say.
Exactly.
So as we're nearing the end of the route, do you have maybe an inspiration or a lesson or some words? What do you want to give people as advice that want to visit the festival? What's the purpose behind it? What do you want to give to people?
Yeah, I think for me it's really about coming together in the wintertime. So yeah, we think about festivals in the summer. It's always warm. It's nice to be outside, but in the winter, it's a little bit more difficult. So my favorite thing during the festival is I cycle around to check on how things are going. I hear all the guides on the boats giving their personal story of the artworks, which I always find super great.
Well, if you ever want to join us, please do. Please do. We can hop on a cruise together because the other hosts are presenting.
Yeah, but also, to hear the conversations that people have about the artworks. I think that's what I like the most is that we have an idea of what people will think maybe, but then everyone is different. So everyone has a different point of view and has a different interpretation of each artwork, and I really just enjoy hearing all the positives and also the negatives about what people say. Some people, it's a little bit difficult for them to maybe understand what the artwork is, or they're on the other spectrum, they really want something abstract and difficult, and the artwork is
everybody is different in their own way, and offers their own perspectives in that sense too. That is wonderful. So kind of the lesson you would say is go out there, grab everybody together,
get inspired, have a conversation.
Have a conversation.
That's see the city in a completely new light.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much for joining today.
I
really appreciate it. And I learned a lot, and I'm very excited about the festival as well.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great success, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Looking forward to it.
Thanks so much.